It's the same thing what happened in 2011 World Cup.
Yeah.
We played Australia in the quarterfinals at Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
It was a 50-50 game. It was a 50-50 game till Yuvraj came out with a blinder of a knock from a no-win situation. I think Yuvraj and Raina came with a brilliant partnership when everybody thought the Aussies are through. That's what happens in this kind of World Cups.
Since you brought India-Australia, let's also not forget the 2003 final. I mean, that was also, everybody was saying 50-50, and then the Aussies just blew us out of the park. It was like, you know.
That's on that day's performance.
Yeah, it's on that day. But, you know, one of the things, Mr. Ram, and I don't think, you know, cricketing shows, whether it's on news channels or even on cricket websites, have acknowledged as much as they should have the role of Ravichandran Ashwin and also the other spinners in this lineup. I'm just taking today's game as an example. Raina, who's just a floater sort of bowler for India, and Ashwin, 20 overs between them. They had conceded something like 78 runs. And every time Ashwin came on, he changed the course of the game. I mean, you know, he is, again, one of the underappreciated cricketers in this side. I mean, he's certainly not a superstar like Dhoni or Virat Kohli. Walk us through just how important his role has been so far and how important it's going to be going forward.
I think he has really learned to bowl on these wickets, because earlier he was very flat. It's not just that he was underrated, he underperformed earlier. But he's been interviewed and he's been saying that he slows it down, he tosses it up, and I think he tries fewer variations, and he's much better bowler. But let's not overestimate our spinning resources, because when India plays Australia in Sydney on the 26th of March, I think it's a different ball game. Australia, let's not talk about favorites. Favorite is singular, not plural. And the clear favorite in this tournament is Australia. And so India-Australia won't meet in the final, that's pretty sure. And how will the Sydney pitch play? I think Australia has greater depth in batting.
It's interesting you say that.
Good.
It's interesting you say that because you actually rate the Australians with a better chance than even New Zealand, who so far, by all estimates, have been the best side. I mean, they won all their games and they've won them emphatically.
They won them in New Zealand. Their performance in Australia will remain to be watched. They'll be playing South Africa in Auckland, because there's no chance of Australia and New Zealand meeting in the semi-finals. Okay. So you would think that going by the ODI rankings, South Africa should win. Australia should beat India by rankings. But so let's not underestimate the improving Australian team here. I wouldn't compare it with 2003. They were invincible. The Australian team at that time. There's no comparison. But Australia bats deep, and I think they fixed the batting order with Watson not batting at number 3, and he looked pretty good at number 6 the other day
in the game against Sri Lanka.
And Smith, I think Smith in number 3 is the perfect choice. So they've corrected that skewed batting order. So they look pretty good.
So Mr. Rams picked his favorite side, and that is Australia. Why not? I mean, they are the hosts, and they've been fascinating in the games. The game against Sri Lanka was just unbelievable stuff. The one thing we haven't talked about, and they've done a remarkable turnaround, is Pakistan. And on their day, well, they beat the South Africans. They can beat any team.
Look, any team can beat anyone in the going into the knockout stage. But Pakistan, to me, looks inexperienced. Their batting looks very suspect. So I doubt. But
despite Sarfaraz,
I personally still feel South Africa.
Oh yeah.
To me, given the kind of team they have not performed well. We know what they are called chokers. But given the way any team which has Amla and de Villiers, the way they bat, and the bowling they have, should not be ruled out at all of winning.
Okay, you want to add a quick closing comment?
I'm sure Pradeep will agree with me. I mean, the reason is, I mean, South Africa, all of us thought definitely pre-World Cup talking, pre-World Cup shows in our Kings of Cricket show in our CNNIBN here, we're talking about South Africa as one of the real hot favorites. Even now they are. But the problem with South Africa is they are not still getting the balance right.
You still think
not got the balance right.
Who would say, if you're A.B. de Villiers, who would you draw?
Sometimes they're playing only 6 batsmen, 5 bowlers. They don't know what to do with that number 7 slot, Pradeep. I think that's where they're getting stuck. But that's where I think Australians have done a brilliant job of reorganizing the lineup, reorganizing the team, and making sure everybody's informed.
But Tika, just to add to that, I mean, that's a consequence of winning, right? If you start winning games, every combination looks awesome, right?
Zaka, nothing succeeds like success.
Yeah.
That's life, Zaka.
Yeah.
So there's no use talking about it.
Yeah.
You're talking about winning a World Cup.
Exactly.
And you're played for so many games. And if you're not able to organize your team yet,
Okay.
you have said you're already qualified to the quarterfinals. And you're still finding where to do, what not to do with the batting lineup. That's not done. That's not on.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
You know,
Fair
what also
enough.
has happened is that India, by topping the pool, is at least as of now, we feel that they have a very easy game. But you never know in one-day cricket.
Oh, yeah.
In the quarterfinals.
Bangladesh have been
South Africa,
outstanding.
South Africa is now going to face superior teams just early on.
Yeah.
So that is like facing New Zealand in New Zealand won't be easy for them.
Okay.
But New Zealand also has its own problems, if I may just butt in here.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. My point is, New Zealand again is an untested team.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, they
The middle order has not been tested. It's been Brendan McCullum all the way through. A little bit of Kane Williamson here and there. What happens when those two guys get out early?
They also have a fascinating bowling lineup.
Yeah.
No, but batting.
Yeah, batting- I mean,
Today
batting
you're talking
should
about
win.
one-day cricket is all about batting, man. You're talking about 5 fielders within the circle. After power plays.
So you're still sticking by your favorite is India, Ms. Magazine, what, South Africa, dark horses?
India, one of the hot favorites.
Okay.
India is obviously now in contention.
But
I think I still would feel that South Africa is also there.
Okay.
Let's not rule them out.
okay, final comments, Mr. Ram, 30 seconds. You stick by Australia as your pick, the team that you think has the best chance to win this World Cup.
I would like South Africa to win. I wrote about that earlier. That's the team to beat. But
Okay.
as of now, AB hasn't got his act together, and Chika was absolutely right. They haven't got the balance is right. And I think in the captaincy department, AB clearly probably the world's best batsman and the world's best cricketer, but in the ODI business, he lags behind MS and also
Okay.
McCullum.
All right. Okay, we'll say, you know what, we're going to have all of you back on the 26th when that semi-final happens. Hopefully it'll be India-Australia, and hopefully India will win. And we'll hold you to your word. We'll see if you still retain your favorite tags to whichever teams you think is going to win this World Cup. But thank you very much, N. Ram from Chennai, Pradeep Magazine, and Chika here in our studios. Thanks indeed for that fascinating discussion. Yes, like I said, 3 weeks ago, nobody would have given India a chance or, wagered a bet to say that they would top their group. They are now most likely on form, on history. They're, of course, going to all set to be playing Bangladesh in the quarterfinals. If they win that, then semis, as Chika said, it's anybody's game. So India have now beaten Ireland. A lot of records stumbling today, 5 matches out of 5 so far. We're now joined by a man of many talents. He's a sitting member of parliament, former union minister, and in this case, a hardcore cricket enthusiast and also an author of one of the finest books on cricket I've read. Shashi Tharoor, welcome to CNNIBN and welcome to our talking point. So 5 wins out of 5 in this World Cup, 9 consecutive wins in the World Cup for Dhoni. Is this the most emphatic display that you've seen from the Indian team yet?
It's unbelievable. I'm not a betting man, but frankly, if I had to bet, I would never have bet on us finding ourselves on the 10th of March with 5 victories out of 5 under our belt. And that too done with such incredible confidence, clinical precision, superb, accurate fast bowling, great, restrictive spin bowling, fantastic fielding, super confident batting. I mean, everything seems to have clicked, and I keep pinching myself and crossing my fingers, hoping that suddenly things won't change. But it's certainly gone so far magnificently. I do not expect any trouble in the 6th match, and that will extend the record streak from 9 consecutive victories in 2 World Cups to 10, which would be quite astonishing. And the quarterfinals are almost certainly going to be against Bangladesh, which is a team that surely we should be able to get the better of 19 times out of 20. So suddenly, from having been the team that was out of form throughout the Australian summer, we look like a certainty, the first certainty for the semi-finals of the World Cup. It's just incredibly exciting.
You mentioned the quarterfinals, and we'll most likely be playing Bangladesh.